Hello students, good morning to all. Welcome to you today's class. Today we in this video read about constitutional design. In this is your political science chapter 2. In this lesson deal with the word constitution as a whole. The example of South Africa with respect to apartheid is explained. The period in which Indian constitution was made is discussed. The key features of Indian constitution are discussed. So let's start. Democratic constitution in South Africa. Here in this topic and this chapter, first question is, what is apartheid? Apartheid was the name of a system of racial discrimination unique to South Africa. The system of apartheid divided the people and labeled them on the basis of their skin colors. So main feature are apartheid is there were restrictions on movement from one place to another. Non-whites had no votes. The policy of apartheid denied human right to the non-violence. So, struggle against apartheid in South Africa are the white rulers treated all non-whites such as native blacks, colored and people migrate from India etc. as inferiors. The non-whites did not have voting rights. The black, colored and Indians fought against the apartheid system since 1950 under an umbrella organization called African National Congress, short name is ANC. Finally, on 26th April 1994, the apartheid government came to an end, paving the way for the formation of a multiracial government. Nelson Mandela, the South African leader of African National Congress, fought a long battle against apartheid, imprisoned for 28 years, emerged as a first president of the Republic of South Africa. People struggled against that horrible discrimination practiced against them by the white minority rulers. So in this topic, enough. Thank you, students.
Constitutional design is all about constitution. But what is constitution? Well, there are some certain rules which every citizen, leader, state, in fact the whole nation have to follow. All such rules together are called constitution. As the supreme law of the country, constitution determines the rights of the citizen as well as the power and duty of the government. But why do we need a constitution? Is it really that important? Let us understand this with an example of South Africa. During the 17th and the 18th century, trading companies from Europe traveled to South Africa and occupied it with arms and force. Whites settled in South Africa and became local rulers. They started a new rule known as apartheid system, a system of racial discrimination. Apartheid system divided people on the basis of their skin color. The native people of South Africa made up about 3/4 of the population and were called blacks. Europeans who were fair in color were known as white. There were people of mixed races known as colored, which also included people who migrated from India. The whites considered themselves as superior and treated others as inferiors. Apartheid system was so harsh that it led to segregation. Means non-whites did not have the right to vote. They were forbidden from living in white areas. They could work in white areas only if they have permit. Transport, hospitals, education facilities, cinema halls, beaches, swimming pools, toilet, all were separated for the white and black. They could not visit the church where whites worshipped. They were not allowed to form associations or protest against such terrible treatment. Time passed by and people suffered a lot. In the year of 1912, ANC, as known as African National Congress, was formed with the aim of fighting for the rights. After 1950, the blacks, colored and Indians fought against the apartheid system. They launched protest marches and strikes. In 1960, white South African government banned ANC. But still, Nelson Mandela and few other leaders continued to protest. As a result, in 1964, government killed thousands of black and colored people, while Nelson Mandela and 7 other leaders were sentenced to life imprisonment. But the protest continued with more power. Workers' unions, Communist Party, Sensitive White all joined ANC. As the protest and struggles increased, government realized they could no longer rule through repression. After 28 years of imprisonment, Nelson Mandela walked out of jail as a free man, and a negotiation was held between both parties. And finally, on 26 April 1994, a new flag of Republic of South Africa was unfurled. After the emergence of New South Africa, black leaders appealed to fellow blacks to forgive the whites. New South Africa was based on equality, democratic values, social justice, and human rights. Both the parties sat together and came out with the world's finest constitution they have ever had. However, making of a new constitution was not that simple. It was not easy for them to trust each other. They had their fears and wanted to keep themselves safe. Black wanted majority rule, one person, one vote, right for the poor and the workers. White wanted that the majority rule would not be absolute. They would not take away the property of the white minority. After a long negotiation, both parties agreed to a compromise. But what was the guarantee that this trust will not be broken in future? So they wrote down some basic rules which everyone should follow, like how the rulers are to be chosen in future, what government can and what they cannot do, rights of the citizen. They also agreed that these rules will be supreme, that no government will be able to ignore these. This set of basic rules is called Constitution. Example of South Africa tells us why we need Constitution. That's all for part 1. Stay tuned for the next video.